I'm going to start off the distributive property with a quick example. So with number 1, this says 4 times 3 plus 5. You should already know that if something is in parentheses, that means that you could add together these numbers. But with the distributive property, that means there's another way you could solve this, and this way you don't add these numbers together, because sometimes you can't. So let's just go ahead with this example. 4 times 3 plus 5. This means that 4 is multiplying 3, 4 is multiplying 3, and 4 is also multiplying 5. And then we have this plus sign, so we're going to copy that plus sign. I drew these lines, and these lines mean multiply. We're doing 4 times 3 and 4 times 5. 4 times 3 makes 12. 4 times 5 makes 20. 12 plus 20 makes 32. And then we could check ourselves by doing it the old way, which is 4 times 3 plus 5 makes 8. And then 4 times 8 makes 32. And 32 is equal to 32. Yes. You only really need to do this way on the right side, though. This is what today's lesson is about. Distributing. That means evenly multiplying by what's outside the parentheses. I'll do another quick example. Number 2. 2 times 6. 2 times 6. And then we're also going to do 2 times 10. 2 times 6 makes 12. 2 times 10 makes 20. Add those two things together and you get 32. And then we can check that. 2 times 6 plus 10 makes 16. And 2 times 16 makes 32. A benefit of using the distributive property is instead of doing figuring out whatever 2 times 16 is, we can do 2 times some smaller numbers. And since we just did the properties of numbers yesterday or the day before, then it should also be true that 6 minus 2 times 8 in number 4, 6 minus 2 times 8 is the same thing as 8 times 6 minus 2. You don't have to put the number in front. You don't have to put the 8 in front. But just to keep it the same as the last two, I will. So that means that this is equal to 8 times 6 minus 8 times 2. 8 times 6 and then 8 times 2. 8 times 6 is 48. 8 times 2 is 16. And we're going to subtract those two numbers to get 32. And then if I check it, I should get 4 times 8. 4 times 8 is 32. So we know we didn't make any mistakes. Up here is the distributive properties rule. The rule is if I have a number outside of a parentheses, then I will distribute it. I will do a times the first number, and then whatever this sign is will get copied. And then I'm going to have to multiply to the second number. A times the second number, A times C, and that's the distributive property. I'm now going to do more examples for the distributive property. Some more complex examples. 5 times 89. So how you were taught to do this is you do 89 times 5, and then you do 5 times 9. 5 times 9 makes 45, and then you carry a 4. And then 5 times 8 to get 40, and then we're going to add that 4 onto the 40 to get 145. No. 445. So you saw how I made a mistake in there. We can rewrite this and we can do it. This is option 1. This is elementary. US elementary option 1. And now I'm going to show you China elementary option. In China, they don't teach them this way. They don't teach that. They use a different way to multiply. They use the real way to multiply, which is distributive property. Some of you might have learned this. You guys are pretty young, so maybe we've changed the way that we teach it in y'all's generation. But I learned this way on the left. Now I'm going to do it a different way. This is really 5 times 89 is the number 80 plus 9. 5 times 89 is 5 times 80 plus the number 9. So if there is the number 5 outside of the parentheses, then using the distributive property, I can do 5 times 80 plus 5 times 9. And then a 5 times an 8 is a 4, 40, and then we're going to carry the 0. And then 5 times 9 is 45. And then we add these two numbers together to get 445. This on the left is a trick. It's something that works, but it only works because of this. This is what's really going on in the background. In the background, we have the real math that happens, which is the distributive property. And over time, people just started teaching in schools that you put your numbers and you multiply them vertically. But that's only possible because of this other way. And this other way is actually a lot faster, as I'll show you number 6. In number 6, we have 9 times 99. So the old way you would do that is 99 times 9, and then you would do your multiplication. The better way to do it is 9 times, and we want two numbers that make 99. We want two things that give us 99. And we're going to put those in parentheses. So we could do 90 plus 9, like in the last example, but there's an even easier way to do it. 100 minus 1. 100 minus 1 is going to give us back that 99. And I'm going to need this box to move because it's in my way. So 9 times 99 is the same thing as 9 times 100 minus 1. And then now I can use the distributive property. 9 times 100 minus 9 times 1. 9 times 100 is 900. And then 9 times 1 is 9. And then 900 minus 9 is 891. That was real quick. It wasn't no problem at all. It was easy. Let me do a few more examples. I just erased it and put it back. 15 times 104. I'm going to change 104. And the easiest way to change this one is 100 plus 4. 100 plus 4 gives me back 104. So I can split it up like this. Then I'm going to distribute 100 times 15 plus 15 times 4. And then this is going to give me 15 times 1. And then 2 zeros, because I have 2 zeros here. I need 2 zeros down there. Plus 15 times 4. So that's 15, 30, 45, 60. And the answer is going to be 1560. Number 8. 15 times 2 1/3. So this one, it's easier to do than you would think. 15 times 2 1/3. That means 15 times 2, and we're going to have an extra 1/3. So when I distribute that, I only drew one arrow here. Another one. That's 15 times 2 plus 15 times 1/3. 15 times 2 is 30. And then 15 times 1/3 is the same thing as 15 divided by 3. And 15 divided by 3, 3 fits into 15 5 times, so my answer is 35.